welcome back to the Breaker Bros, and this is our instant reaction to the Bengals versus Browns game, where they lost 20-18. Couple of, I guess, pick six, fumble six, and two missed
Score?
points after touchdowns.
Yeah.
Did all of our
that's losing football right there.
have all of our fumble sixes? Was that Fance? Did he have all the fumble sixes?
I know he had at least two of them.
Yeah,
And it looks like the exact same play. Maybe they should stop running that play.
or just like have someone trail him while he has the ball.
Yeah. Be like, hey, we need someone to tackle the guy after he fumbles it.
I did see like an interesting stat where there was only three, like a pick six and a fumble six in the same game, and the Bengals had all three.
Yeah, this season.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird game because, I mean, if you take away the two turnovers that went for a touchdown, you know, the Bengals offense, I guess, kind of played good enough to win the game, but it was a weird one.
The Bengals are a poorly coached team with some great players on it. I mean, that's just bad coaching, right? They beat themselves constantly.
Yeah, that pick six was kind of tough because I don't know. I didn't. I'm guessing it was going to T and it got tipped and it went for 6
Yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens, right? But like having both a pick six and a fumble for a touchdown, and you miss two extra points, and you don't use more of the clock because for some reason you forget that the defense sucks, you know. And really, the Browns screwed up, right, on that kickoff because McPherson kicked it into the end zone. The guy should have just let it go into the end zone and taken the penalty.
I don't know. It was pretty close. I think it was closer to the one, but I mean, I think it's worse if it happens to hit the 1 yard line and goes into the end zone because then I think they can only take it back to the 20.
Yeah,
but
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just like it's just losing football, right? What's the opposite of complimentary football, right? Insulting football. I mean, it's just bad coaching, and it's hard to get around that at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away this,
lucky for us, right, they're changing the coach, right?
Gotta go.
It doesn't seem like that.
I know. The upside is that maybe we're in range to get Caleb Downs now. We pick 9th or 10th. So.
Yeah, I was looking at it right now. It says that we got the 9th pick, but I'm not sure if that's like set in stone right now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there's potential they can still get the 8th, I think, but they're in the top 10. I think they're in reasonable range to get him or like a really dynamic linebacker, it feels like.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing more rumblings about quarterbacks jumping up the board. I saw some posts that if Arch Manning went into the draft this year, he would at least be picked second. I'm like, okay, make it happen.
Yeah, he's not coming out this year. He took a pay cut, though.
It might be more reason for him to enter the draft.
Mm-hmm.
What's he making now?
I have no idea. I just heard somewhere that he took a pay cut.
Interesting. Well, I mean, the more, I guess, quarterbacks that could potentially be taken in the top 10, the better for the Bengals. It almost allows them to get like a top 5 player, someone that probably should be picked in the top 5, but falls.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we could wish for Ruben Bain or Caleb Downs.
I saw a few other players. There's that linebacker for Ohio State, and then there's like another defensive end. I think he plays for Virginia or Texas Tech, I think.
Yeah,
people are starting to talk about.
Yeah, so they should be able to get a blue chip kind of defensive player. But
yeah, I mean, as far as the game, I thought for the most part, I thought the defense played well. It just seemed like that first half was kind of weird because it really felt like the Bengals had the ball most of the half.
They did, except for like 10 seconds that the Browns were running it into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, they had those two turnovers that went for basically 14 points. So, I mean, really, the Bengals defense only gave up 8 points.
Yeah.
And I think they had like 6 sacks, maybe even 7 sacks throughout the whole game. So I thought that was pretty good. Just they couldn't close it out at the end, which is, I mean,
It's nothing
kinda to
new
be
this
expected,
season.
yeah.
I mean, you know that if the other team, if the Bengals defense is on the field, that the other team's going to score at the end of the game. That's just been the pattern all year.
Yeah, and I guess really the big thing, I think if there's actually playoff implications in this game, I think maybe they would take some aspects a little bit more seriously. But because it was like late in the first half where they could have went for that fourth down or on the fourth down.
Mhm.
Maybe it's like early in the second half, but they decided to punt it because I mean, really, the Browns' offense wasn't doing that much. I guess they did enough to get a few field goals to really solidify the game, but outside of that, it's kind of a sluggish game all around. I mean, Garrett got his record sack for the year. Seemed like
Mhm.
that was kind of anticlimactic. It almost felt like it was scripted in a sense.
Yeah, it
was
felt a
just
lot like when Brett Favre got sacked for the record way back when. He
well,
saw
it
it.
was just like
um,
all game they basically doubled him, and it was just like that
Yeah,
one play
like,
they
"Now
didn't
let's
double
let
him.
him get it. Let's Orlando Brown cannot get back fast enough. So let's just do one. Let's just have a one-on-one. Maybe they'll take Garrett out after that."
But I mean, if there was going to be any type of sack, given up to Garrett, I would take it that way because Burrow went down pretty quick. He didn't have to take a crazy hit or anything.
Yeah.
More of like a sympathy sack. Felt like, I mean, he definitely earned it. It was just, it did feel like early on, there was a lot of focus wherever Garrett was, and they're running the ball pretty good. It felt like, or at least effectively throughout the first half, and it kind of stalled. I feel like in the third quarter, but it seemed like they had a pretty decent game plan going into the game in terms
Mhm.
of countering Garrett. Because I want to say they had like 70, 80 yards in the first half rushing, and they were basically either running right at Garrett or the exact opposite. I thought Zach Taylor had a few, I guess, good running plays that, like there was a few jet sweeps or I guess misdirections that he did that I kind of felt like kept them off balance on defense. But yeah, it just felt like their defense played a lot the first 3 quarters. Well, actually, third quarter was a little bit different because the Browns, their opening drive was pretty, I guess it was like 7 minutes, but they did hold them to a field goal, which was nice.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was kind of a sluggish game all around. But I guess I'm not like too disappointed that they lost because I feel like for them
Yeah, it's kind
to have a
of
top 10 pick, then not.
consistent with the rest of the season, right? I mean, they play close and then they lose. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and I would say it's probably, I don't know. Like I said, it's a weird game. It's probably more on the offense. I mean, you give up 14 points on 2 plays. It's pretty tough. And the Browns all year they had a pretty good defense. They're gonna have a good defense the next couple of years. I guess for them, it's just figuring out who can be a really productive quarterback. I don't think Sanders is going to be their long term answer. He seems to hold on to the ball for a little bit. I was actually kind of surprised how many pressures the Bengals were getting,
Yeah.
regardless if he was holding the ball or not. But they definitely cashed in on a lot of them, and they probably could have had 2 or 3 more sacks.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, really, like, there's the one where they did the where Sanders pulled the ball and Geno Snowden whiffed on the tackle and they got the first down. That could have been a sack, but they missed a couple picks too.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really I mean, he hit I think it was Geno Stone both times, right? In the hands. He should
Yeah,
have
the
caught him.
the
Yeah.
first one, I feel like Geno Stone didn't touch it at all. I think Barrett Carter would have got that pick for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have had a few picks.
Mhm.
So in terms of pressure, I felt like they did a good enough job. But just
Yeah, but I don't know how good the Browns offensive line is at this point in the season. Sounds like they had a few
no, they
injuries.
I feel like they had a lot of backups in, and even when they were down to their second string or center, he got hurt, so they were down to their third string center. And then I saw actually Zinter, the guy that we liked a few years back. I think he was playing center for them. And then I also saw that they had that. I'm trying to think of his name, but it was a guard that a lot of people wanted the Bengals to pick up in the offseason. He was playing, so I thought that was interesting. A lot of people thought he was going to be like a starter, but not think of his name. He was drafted by the Bears. It was the guy that a lot of people wanted instead of oh my god, he drafted that tackle from Clemson.
The tackle from Jackson.
Yeah, Carmen Jackson. And then because that guard was there. Is it Tevin Jenkins? I think.
Yeah, Tevin Jenkins.
Yeah, I saw that he was in. So yeah, my main point of all that was they were definitely with their backup line, most of the positions. So but I mean, throughout the game they had a pretty good amount of pressures.
Yeah, I mean,
congratulations, Myles Garrett. Beautiful wins. Shadir Sanders at Cleveland Brown. Honestly, I mean, I hope he stays at Cleveland Brown for a while. Yeah, it would not bother me one bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was good record to break. I mean, at least something of note happened during the game, but it's too bad that the game didn't count for the playoffs, really. So they'll play for something.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if they could have maintained that lead at the end, because they score with like a minute and 30 seconds left. But I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, it's better that they get a top 10 pick than don't. So I think they're pretty much guaranteed a top 10 pick. And
yeah, I guess. I mean, really, I don't think anything's going to change unless they get a new coach. So, I mean,
you think they might draft a receiver now in the first round?
Well, for sure in the third round, right?
Actually, that might be a possibility. By the time you get to the third, fourth round, that wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, at some point they're going to have to draft a receiver, I think. But outside of that, I think the majority of the picks should be on defense. I would say like 5 picks on defense and then 2 picks on offense.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to strengthen up the middle. They need to get either a good linebacker, a good safety, or a good defensive interior player. Unless you can get like one of those edge rushers. I mean, I think that'd be a good pick as well if they could get one of those guys with the top 10.
I was on Bengals Twitter a couple of days ago, and I did see a post where I think some people are looking to bring back Osai. I feel like you could still bring back Osai and draft another defensive end in the first round.
I don't see why you would bring back Osai.
Yeah, I guess it's not 100% necessary.
I mean, you've got he's not really better than the guys that are younger and have been playing since, right? I mean, has the defense really played materially worse since Osai's gone out? I mean, you could say that they've actually played better.
Well, because they're just getting more playing time. So, but I mean, I think there's just...
I mean, the defense overall, has not gotten worse since Osai got hurt. I think it's actually gotten a little bit better.
And I think if you even look from when Hendrickson basically stopped playing during the season, which I think was like week 4 or 5, it's pretty early. They definitely have gotten better. At least the pass rush, they've been consistently getting a little bit better now. I know some of the teams that they're playing are either not the greatest or they're playing a lot of backups, but this is what it should look like if they're playing.
Yeah, I mean, just from a cap management perspective, you can't spend money on guys that aren't better than the guys that are cheaper.
Yeah, but I was looking at
$1 million should be spent elsewhere.
But I mean, they're going to have to pick up a defensive lineman one way or another.
Well, why? I mean, Cam Sample.
Well, he's a free agent.
Okay. He's probably cheaper than Osai.
So you would rather bring back Sample than Osai?
You just need to get as cheap and as young a players as you can on, unless they're like top end guys. You can't spend money on guys that are just as good as like the guys you get in the middle of the draft.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the linebackers look like, free agency wise, because I feel like you're gonna have to still pick someone up and then hopefully find someone else in the draft as well.
I guess. I mean, hopefully the point of all these growing pains that they started the 2 rookies most of this season, they'll be ready to be starters next year. I mean, again, that's just bad team roster construction. If you use a second round pick on a linebacker and then you got to come right back around and find another guy, you know.
I did feel like today though, Knight, and I think even last week he played pretty good, but I think today he had a pretty decent game. I didn't see plays where he was in where it was negative. He was getting
I mean, the defense is playing better overall. They're still like not trustworthy, right? So they need an upgrade. I think the best way to get better is I think if they got a safety, I think safety's probably like Geno Stone is to me like their worst player out there. And if you replace him with like Caleb Downs, I think you take the defense from being maybe you turn it into a defense that can win the game for you at the end. You know, he just leaves too many plays on the field.
Yeah, I think if you bring in a player like Caleb Downs in the secondary, or and then really just players that are going to raise the floor up the middle. So like your linebackers, your safeties, and I don't know, like the defensive line is kind of tricky because they're going to have to replace people unless they resign everyone, which is it's not going to happen. But at some point, they're going to have to bring in someone, whether it's through the draft or through free
drafted guys. I mean, McKinley Jackson and Jenkins should be ready to go next year, assuming Jenkins isn't like hurt at the beginning of the season. But those guys should be like your primary players.
Yeah, but then I feel like they need someone else that's very similar to like TJ Slayton that can help out with that role.
Yeah, well, I mean, I assume is TJ Slayton back? I mean,
I think he signed a 3-year deal.
Yeah, so I feel like if they could upgrade, but like I do think that they have their rotation on the defensive line. But yeah,
and then defensive end wise, I'm pretty sure Sample, Hendrickson, and Osai are all free agency. So at some point, probably gonna have to at least replace 2 of them.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they get one in the draft. I mean, I feel like whoever they get first round of the draft should be a really, really good playmaker for the defense, right? Whether you get like one of those Ohio State linebackers or Caleb Downs or one of those edge rushers, I think that would make the defense better. I think safety is like the biggest chance for upgrade. But if you can't get Caleb Downs, and an edge rusher or like Sonny Styles probably wouldn't be like a bad consolation prize. But I don't know. I just don't. I mean, I guess if they had a really good linebacker that could cover a tight end, that would really help a lot too, right? But I've kind of fallen in love with the idea of getting a safety. I've zoned in on that one idea, but I don't know. Overall, disappointing season.
Yeah,
I think the easiest way to upgrade this team would be to get a better coach, but that's not going to happen.
Doesn't feel like it at all. No.
But I mean, look at the Broncos. They got Sean Payton. It's amazing how easy it is, you know.
I have a weird feeling that the Broncos are going to win it all this year.
Really?
Well, yeah, because was it like 2 or 3 years ago when the Waltons bought the Broncos for like $6 million? It wouldn't surprise me if,
Oh, I mean, they're They might be the number 1 seed in the AFC. That's the good first step towards winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at their team makeup, I mean, they have a really quality team. It's the defense. It's basically the best defense, or at least elite, and then they have a good running game. They have a really athletic quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That can extend the drive with either his arm or his feet. But
Mm-hmm.
they definitely have a makeup. But yeah, I always, for me, the teams that I guess are invested in the NFL, I could see why, you start to see them get a little bit more calls in the playoffs. Don't have to worry about that with the Chiefs anymore because they didn't make the playoffs this year. But
Yeah, so you're saying the refs are moving to another AFC West team?
well, I'm just saying that like it would make sense that like a team like the Broncos, especially with them being owned by the Walmart family, that
Mm-hmm.
they get some type of return on their investment. I don't know, just a hunch. But I mean, really, if you look at the rest of the league, it's still wide open. I feel like really any team can win it that's in the playoffs. There's no like team that's head and shoulders above the other teams. It feels like really anything can happen. But outside of like the conspiracy, I do think the Broncos have a quality team. So
Yeah,
just give them a few calls. I feel like they can win it. Why not?
yeah.
But I feel like that the Ravens or Steelers game be very interesting tonight. I heard maybe this might interest you, but it feels like if the Ravens lose, Harbaugh might be gone. I think that might be there might be some truth to that. I don't know. One of the two will be out of Baltimore. I feel like either Harbaugh or Lamar Jackson. It does feel like something weird is going on with that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Well,
I
there's
mean, I think
speculation
you can only stay in one place for so long. After a while, you just need to.
well, something weird is going on because I think at the beginning of the year they were working to extend Lamar Jackson, and obviously it didn't go through. And then throughout the year when he was kind of hurt, he was in situations where he probably could have played, but he kind of took the other route to ensure that he didn't have like a
I don't
devastating.
know. I mean, having seen him play, like the game he played against the Bengals, he didn't look like himself. Like he looked like he was definitely hurt.
Oh
you
no,
know?
I think he was hurt for sure, but I mean that's the
Hmm.
NFL. You kind of have to play hurt, especially if you're a quarterback that gets hit a lot. I don't think his offensive line did him any favors this year, but
Yeah,
what I'm
but I
saying
mean,
is that
if you're the kind of player he is, I don't think that you can play without being able to move around.
well, no, I can see that too, but I also feel like there was games where he probably could have toughed it out, and it's like an 80% Lamar Jackson's still better than any backup that they could bring in potentially, but I don't know. It's just my hunch because the elephant in the room is if everything stays the same and Lamar plays out his contract next year, it's a $70 million cap hit for his contract for that year. And
Right.
the
So like,
logic,
they can't play with that cap hit. They got to do something.
right? That's what I'm saying. Like this deal should have been done already, and I feel like
Yeah, but they can't let them play it out, and they can't cut them, right? Because if you cut them, you still have the cap hit, right?
no. That's why I think a trade still might be in play. But if they get rid of Harbaugh, then that might change everything, right? But I think if they keep Harbaugh, that might be a pretty good indicator that they're probably going to trade Lamar Jackson. And
Mm-hmm.
for my, watching from the sidelines and just seeing a few things here and there, there seems to be some type of weird rift between Lamar Jackson and Harbaugh. Because when he was sitting out 4 or 5 weeks, Harbaugh wasn't being non-committal. Seemed like he was expecting Lamar to come back sooner, and then Lamar took a little bit extra time to get healthy, which is understandable. I understand his corner because it's like he wants to sign a new deal, he wants to extend and get more guaranteed money before he goes out there, because it doesn't make sense for him to go out there and make an injury even worse. And then that potentially hurt him down the road because he tried to play hurt. You would only do that if you had that for sure guaranteed money, if he had already extended. So I think the game's gonna be interesting tonight, especially if the Ravens lose, which I kind of expect them to lose. I don't know why, but I guess maybe from a AFC North rival perspective, it'd be more fun if they lost because there's more of a chance that Harbaugh gets fired. And I think from your perspective, you would like to see that, but I also feel like from a lot of
What
Ravens.
difference does it make if the Bengals don't hire him? I don't care.
Well, I mean, I think you think he's a quality coach, so unless
Yeah.
they bring in someone that's like, I could see where it would be difficult to bring in someone that would have a better pedigree than what Harbaugh has or his resume. So in a way, from a coaching perspective, it makes it a little bit easier in the division. I can see that, but at the same time, I just want to see the drama, whether they keep him, and if they do keep him, I just feel like that means Lamar's going somewhere. Because I saw some odds that I forget what team it was, but I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like the team that can throw a lot of picks. I don't know. I feel like the Raiders would also make a lot of sense.
Yeah. It's a very Raiders thing to do.
Plus, they have the number 1 overall pick this year, but they may not. If anything, it might be more of an incentive not to trade because.
Yeah, usually, like, that's kind of the built-in advantage, they say, with the rookie quarterback contract. If you can get a guy on that first-round deal.
Plus, that quarterback from Indiana seems like he could be the real deal in terms of a prospect coming out of college. It seems like people are pretty high on him.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I mean he's a good player, but I don't know. I don't.
Oh, he's the best. If I was a team in the top 10, I would definitely trade up.
Yeah.
Throw picks at him.
Okay.
There's only 4 quarterbacks that you could potentially take in the top 10, so you got to get your guy, right?
That's true.
I feel like that's the number, right? If there's 4 quarterbacks, which I feel like that's definitely wishful thinking, that are drafted before the Bengals, then there's like an 85% possibility that Caleb Downs should drop to the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just feels like if this draft class feels a lot like last year's draft class, where like there are quarterbacks. I would almost say that my prediction on the draft, before we get too far into it, is I feel like the best quarterback in this draft is going to be someone drafted like in the 3rd or 4th round. Because I feel like there are guys that are really good, but don't have like that first round pedigree. Like Ole Miss's quarterback's really good, but he's not. He's like a 6 foot tall guy. He's not like 6'5", right?
So he's going to get drafted by the Browns in like the 5th round.
I don't know. I mean, the Vanderbilt's quarterback is like Johnny Manziel 2.0. I mean, he's like very much like that electric playmaking kind of guy, but he seems like he's like way like built more stout than Manziel. Like if he looks like he could take like the NFL punishment.
Doesn't Miami have a few extra picks? I think they're at 10 right now, so I could see them potentially trading up to get a quarterback. That'd be nice.
Yeah, but I'm saying like those 2 guys, I don't think they're first round guys. I think the Vandy's quarterback's like 5'8", 5'9". So
well, how tall is the guy from Indiana?
6'5".
Oh yeah. He's definitely
he is like the prototypical first round NFL quarterback. Like he'll do everything. Like I think when you go through the process, right, he's going to do all the stuff that the GM's like, and he's like the right size, right? And he's a winner. So I think he's clearly the guy that's going to get picked first. But what I'm saying is, I think some of the, not prototypical NFL guys, I like better. Like I'm
better value.
Curious about them, and I think that like they may end up having better careers than guys taken in the first round. Also, like I'm kind of sleeping on Drew Aller because I think he's got like all the measurables that NFL people like. He got hurt. He hasn't played well at Penn State, but like Penn State has not really like I don't feel like they've really developed quarterbacks well. Like it's like they're good everywhere except quarterback. So I wonder if he gets in the right system, somebody might be able to, make something out of him. And I feel like all three of those dudes are guys that are going to get picked like in the third round. It would be like my guess from like the start, but like third round or later, right?
I guess one way or another, it might help out the Bengals draft wise, because even if they wait until the third round to start taking quarterbacks like early in the round, it just means another skilled player might drop to them at some point. But
yeah, or I wouldn't mind the Bengals taking like one of these like dual threat guys that are kind of smallish. If you can get them in the range where it makes sense for a backup, that would be good to spell Burrow, assuming Flacco doesn't come back. Either way, even if Flacco comes back, I if like one of those guys are like in the 5th or 6th round, I don't think it's a bad idea to pick a developmental quarterback.
yeah, especially in the 6th round, I don't think you have anything to lose. I wouldn't be opposed to that either, because I think they technically traded their 5th rounder to the Browns and got their 6th round. So I think this year they don't have any 5th round picks, but 2 6th round picks. But yeah, if there's a quarterback like that, 6th round.
Yeah, I guess we'll learn more when we start doing our mock drafts.
Yeah, I think just for my early observations, it feels like this year might be very similar to last year. Like, where there's just a lot of good.
I don't know. I feel like this draft, like the talent in this draft, just breaks the Bengals' way. Like, I mean, they could really fix a lot of holes that they have based on how the draft looks initially. But it'll be fun to go through. We need to get like a song to play. Like we need like background music for when we draft, I think. Like when we're doing a mock draft. Yeah, we need like a mock draft song.
Oh, okay. Like
you know what I mean? Like, or like a playlist or whatever. So when we start doing it, we hit it, to get like amped up on it.
Sure, there's like a AI
like dance track or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That could be fun.
Yeah. Kind of like, like the lightning round kind of music.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just really a month away from really start getting into like the draft stuff. But, well, probably sooner than that. But
yeah, because I'm like, as soon as the Bengals are done, I'm done with the NFL, man. I don't even watch the playoffs. So.
Yeah, I always say that, but then I always tend to watch a few games here and there, especially as it gets closer to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Just because, well, I don't know. There's really no team that I feel like anyone could win it this year and it'd be like, oh, good for them. Really?
Yeah. I mean,
as long as it's not the Chiefs or maybe even the Eagles again, that'd be kind of lame.
Yeah, it'd be cool if like a new team won. Just, from a fan's perspective, I would like a different fan base to, get a taste of winning it all.
What if it's the Jaguars? Wouldn't that be?
That'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So let's hope for that. Something no one would really expect, especially at the beginning of the year. They actually have one of the better records, I think. Jaguars.
Throw a weight behind, like, just the teams that have either not ever won it or have waited the longest since they've won it. You have to give me updates because I'm literally I don't think I'll watch any more NFL for the rest of the until we get into training camp.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely keep you posted.
Yeah.
All right.
We know how our Jaguars go.
You're gonna win it all. I can feel it. Screw the Broncos.
Duval.
That's right. They'll probably lose in the AFC Championship against the Denver Broncos. Actually, I don't know if that's even possible. Actually, it could be because I feel like, yeah, because they at least have the best. Or
depends on seeding, right?
Well, yeah, I think it will work out that way because I'm pretty sure it's either the Broncos or the Jags that's going to get the number 1 seed. So.
Oh, okay, they've done that well. That's wild. That's like one of the 4 or 5 teams the Bengals beat this year.
Yeah, I mean that's what we could hang our hat on. If the Jaguars win the Super Bowl, you'd be like, hey, we beat the Super Bowl champs.
No, okay. So then by, what do you call it? The transitive property of the Bengals are the real champion.
Yeah, yeah. something like that. I don't know.
That's like the closest we can get.
Yeah, for this year.
Yeah. Ugh, what a year.
Yeah, it sucked. But I guess now to draft time. All right. Anything you want to add to this game?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right. See ya. Peace.